Let's find all the solutions to cosecant squared of x minus 2 equals 0 in the interval from 0 to 2 pi. All right, so that's all we need, just from 0 to 2 pi, and we'll be good to go. All right, so just as we've been doing with all these problems thus far is just solve for our trig function without anything around it. So we want to get rid of 2, get rid of the square. All right, so let's do a couple moves here. Let's go and add 2. So we'll have cosecant squared of x equals 2. Get rid of the square by taking the square root of both sides. That's cosecant of x equals plus or minus radical 2. Because I'm the one who introduced the radical, right? If I introduce the radical, then we need to put plus or minus there. Okay, so what cosecant of what equals plus or minus radical 2? Now, I know that my memory didn't, I didn't memorize the cosecant and secant and cotangent. I'm much more familiar with the sine and cosine and tangent. So the reciprocal of cosecant is sine, right? So the way that I'm going to handle this right now is I'm just going to rewrite the equivalent. So cosecant of x is the same as sine of x equals, well, if I flip cosecant, I have to flip this. So that means this is plus or minus 1 over radical 2, which is the same thing as plus or minus radical 2 over 2. And I got that by multiplying by the or by rationalizing, right? By doing radical 2 times radical 2. Right, so I get radical on the top, and radical 2 times radical 2 is just radical 2 on the bottom. All right, so now this is a lot easier. Sine of what equals plus or minus radical 2 over 2? Well, aren't plus and minus? Well, that means that happens at all 4 quadrants. Quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they're all at the pi over 4. So there's going to be 4 answers here. So let's write them all out, right? If we look at the unit circle, we have our first one right here at pi over 4, right? So our first one is pi over 4. So pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4. So that's our next one right here, 3 pi over 4. And then 4 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4. Is that right there? So that's 5 pi over 4, 6 pi over 4, and 7 pi over 4. Bam. So 7 pi over 4. Right? And that gives us our plus and minus radical 2 over 2. Okay, and so I'm kind of going through these kind of quickly, and this is because we spent a lot of time on the unit circle in chapter 4. So just if you want to get the unit circle out, in front of you, you can do that. Just make sure that you note that you will not have, or you will not be given a unit circle on the exam. You will need to derive these yourself. So if you have to create your own unit circle, you can do that. But you want to actually be very familiar with these, parts of the unit circle.